Chad, today's video is shit, my hair long as shit. Welcome back. This job with the good hair, aka Kai, aka the GOAT. So look, we watching, apocalypse that's most likely to happen. You feel me? Apocalypse.
Well, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about
Shit. Boom.
Well, welcome back to the channel.
Wait.
Today we're talking about everyone.
Chat, can you hit chat? No, they're not on. My bad.
Favorite subject, death. Specifically, doomsday scenarios. Doomsday. What a day. What a day. Doomsday scenarios are essentially scenarios where essentially they are all the different ways we could all die here on planet Earth. The apocalypse, if you will. Nothing helps me sleep more at night than thinking of all the possible ways the world could end. And yeah, I thought about all the ways. I wrote them down. I did a little bit of research, and then I came up with exact numbers to figure out which ones were more likely than the others. We have asteroids, nuclear war, freaking solar flares, people. All that on today's list and more. And by the way, I'm gonna go from the least likely to the most likely. So we're gonna start off with like the very fringe, crazy ideas, all the way to the stuff that like literally could happen next year. So it's gonna be a fun, uplifting video. Let's get into it. And we're starting off with the number one least likely doomsday scenario, and that is a rogue planet. Yeah, a freaking rogue planet. So a rogue planet is a planet that's just flying through the galaxy. It's not gravitationally bound to any star or anything. It's just zipping through in the dark. You can't see it because it's in the dark.
I'm in the dark!
You can only see it when it gets close enough to reflect, the sun's light. Yeah, kind of scary thinking that there could be a huge rocky body or gas body just flying through the galaxy. Now, you might think, okay, there's no way that these exist, but they do exist. In fact, there's probably close to 4 trillion of them in the Milky Way alone. And you might be like, oh shoot, we're done. Well, thankfully, space is huge, and even though there's 4 trillion of them, the Milky Way is massive, and there's a lot of space in space, so it's not a huge problem, but they do exist, and, it is possible. I mean, do you remember that asteroid? I don't remember this one, the Hawaiian name one. That asteroid was a rogue asteroid. It was an interstellar asteroid. It wasn't gravitationally bound to our sun. It just kind of flew out of left field and then left out of right field and never to return. Although it's still kind of close, we could get like a little probe. If we get a probe, we can catch up to it because it's shaped like a cigar. It's kind of shaped like a weird tube, which means maybe it's a spacecraft. So how could a rogue planet possibly destroy Earth and create a doomsday scenario? Well, there's 2 possibilities. One is it could literally smash right into Earth. That would not be good. Or the other possibility is it kind of flies in close and then it pulls us out of our orbit, and all of a sudden we're flying through space and we become a rogue planet. And that wouldn't be good because as we leave the sun, it's gonna start getting cooler and cooler and darker. That's kind of scary. I'm just thinking about like watching the sun slowly fade. That could be a good movie. Is that a movie? Come up with some good movie titles in the comments if you can think of any for that movie. There is a movie based off of a rogue planet striking us known as Melancholia. I have not seen it, but it looks pretty dramatic. They also have rogue stars. Could you imagine a rogue star flying in? That would not be good. It'd be like a Tatooine. You'd have double star system. Obviously, that would cause some issues. There's even rogue black holes. I don't even want to talk about that. That makes me too scared. So this definitely is like the least likely doomsday scenario, considering it has never happened before, except, well, maybe it has potentially happened once, and it might have caused the formation of our moon. It's believed that a rogue planet named Theia smacked into Earth a long time ago, and then a huge chunk of Earth blasted out into space and eventually became our moon. There's not really any exact numbers for this. It's kind of hard to say the likelihood of this in the next 10 years. I want to say there's like a 1 in 2 billion chance within the next decade. It's low, but it's not 0. Real quick, everyone, before we get back to the video, recently I got a rather mean comment. The comment stated, "Hey dude, I'm a big fan of your content, but your drip could use a little work." Now this comment really did affect me. It kind of hurt my feelings. But you know what? They were right. I do lack style. But thankfully, there's today's video sponsor, Holzkern. Holzkern is sponsoring the video. Next up is the GRB, the Gamma Ray Burst. Gamma Ray Bursts are these like high energy, massive explosions in space. They're so huge. They're literally like the hugest. Here's an example. Like here's a galaxy, okay? Boom, and there's a gamma ray burst occurring in said galaxy. It's so bright, it's like brighter than the freaking galaxy. These form in two different scenarios. The first scenario being a massive star kind of collapses on its own gravity and then forms a neutron star, aka a black hole, and then it releases a ton of energy, gamma ray burst. The other scenario is two neutron stars, I can think of the word. Two neutron stars, they slowly get closer and closer and closer. Gamma ray burst. These explosions last from a few seconds to a few hours, so pretty quick. The interesting thing about gamma ray bursts is they actually shoot their energy in like two polar beams opposite of each other. So it's not like all out like a supernova, which we'll get to, but they're like in, you know, two different directions. So these are obviously very scary and crazy if they're the largest energy explosion in the universe. So if one happened near Earth, one might assume that could be very bad, and indeed it would be very bad. Supernovas are stars exploding. There are different types of supernova, but for the sake of this video, we're just going to talk about them in general. Now our sun is a star, so is our sun going to explode? Woo. Well, not for a long time, so you don't have to worry about that. But that doesn't mean that other supernovas can't affect us. In fact, it's believed that any supernova within 1,000 light years could affect us in some way. Right now, there are 8 candidates that could go supernova within the next 1,000 years. But not to freak you out, there's probably several other candidates that we haven't even seen because they're too dim, like little dim white dwarfs that could go supernova out of nowhere, surprising everyone. So there's always that likelihood too. Woo! A very nearby supernova within 30 light years would destroy half of our ozone, exposing us to harmful gamma and ultraviolet radiation. This could destroy small marine life, and then we'd have a food chain issue. It would frick a lot of things up. It's believed that they occur once every 240 million years. Ones that are within 1,000 light years, it's believed that those occur once every 100,000 years. The Crab Nebula, by the way, I don't know if you've ever seen the Crab Nebula. It's a supernova remnant. This was not always here. In fact, this was a star about 1,000 years ago, and then boom, it exploded. And this star that was here was only about 6,500 light years away. Not far at all. But a mass extinction event, one that's super close, that probably happens once every 1 in 20 million years. So we're fine. Don't even worry about it. Now we move on to everyone's favorite, an asteroid impact. These do happen. I mean, just take a look at any other celestial body in the solar system. They're covered in impact craters. However, Earth has something that many of these solar system bodies do not have, and that is an atmosphere. So that's good, but our atmosphere is only so thick. It can only help us so much. While yes, it does shield out a majority of the small little asteroids, some of the big ones, they make their way through, and boom, massive crater. In fact, let's just play a game real quick. Let's hop on Google Earth and see if we can find one of these impact craters. Oh look, a suspicious lake in Canada. Nah. It's an impact crater. This is the Manicouagan crater. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Manicouagan crater.
And this occurred about 250 million years ago. Obviously, look at this thing. It's pretty massive. It was caused by a 3-mile wide asteroid. And for a long time, researchers and scientists believed that this indeed was the asteroid impact that killed off the dinosaurs. But let's keep looking. Let's just keep looking. Are there any other impact? Uh-oh. Look at these twin lakes over here. These are also impact craters. The point is that you can look anywhere throughout the world and you're going to see some massive ancient impact craters because yes, it happens. In fact, one of the most famous of all time is the impact crater over the Yucatan Peninsula known as the
Chicxulub event.
It is believed that this specific asteroid killed off the dinosaurs. By the way, if you look this event up on Google, a little tiny asteroid flies by and impacts the bottom of your screen and then shakes it. way too soon, Google. Not appropriate. The Chicxulub
Chicxulub
impact energy was equivalent to 72 teratons of TNT. Teratons of TNT. That's about 72 million megatons, or about 1.2 million Tsar Bombas, the largest nuclear bomb ever detonated. You can't even comprehend how much damage that would cause. I mean, 70% of all the vegetation on Earth burned to the ground. The entire Earth was essentially on fire. Tons of material were ejected from Earth high up into space. So you had like other asteroids hitting other planets, and those were actually chunks of the Earth slamming into Venus, into Mars. Yeah. An impact of this magnitude will happen again. It's only a matter of time. And if it did happen again, it would be apocalyptic. All of civilization would be absolutely destroyed, and unless you're like a extreme cave dweller or something, there's no way you would survive. So, when's the next impact? Well, it's believed that a comet or an asteroid that's about 1 kilometer in diameter impacts the Earth every 500,000 years. If this were to happen, it wouldn't end all of human civilization, but if it happened over like a civilized area, everyone would die. Like tens of millions of people would die. And there is one kind of coming close to us on April 13th in 2029. I'm talking about 99942 Apophis. Look how close this asteroid gets to Earth. I mean, that's near some satellites. That's literally crossing close to satellites. Thankfully, it's not going to hit, but if it did, here's the risk corridor. These are the locations most likely to be impacted. Literally. It's not looking great for Europe or China. A truly terrible asteroid impact, like one that killed the dinosaurs, happens about once every 20 million years. These are asteroids larger than 5 kilometers in diameter. So we should be good. I don't think there's one coming. We do have people out there surveying the skies all the time, searching for these, and something that's 5 kilometers in diameter, they could probably spot that pretty easily, but that's not always guaranteed. I mean, sometimes you get an interstellar thing coming out of nowhere. Sometimes a comet from the Oort cloud just decides to come down and smack us. There's also it's hard to see certain areas of the sky for whatever reason, so we're never really in the clear, but we should be good. I'm going to say about 1 in 2 million chance within the next 10 years, give or take. Next up, we have the supervolcano. Supervolcanoes are volcanoes that are super big. Volcanoes in general can be broken down into 7 categories of severity and explosiveness. These 7 categories are known as the Volcanic Explosivity Index, or VEI. At the very bottom of the scale, you have a 0. These are like the super weak, little Hawaiian, little stream, little ooze, nothing crazy. Maybe you get a little splatter every once in a while, but overall, super tame, not explosive, nothing to worry about. But if we look at Mount St. Helens in 1980, that was an Index 5 volcano, a little bit more explosive, and unfortunately killed 57 individuals. Mount Vesuvius, way back in Pompeii, whenever that was, 79 AD I think is when it was, or maybe it was 69 AD, that was also a Category 5, an Index 5 on the VEI. But these eruptions are weak. They're nothing compared to the highest index, Index 8, the supervolcano. Remember, this index is exponential. While level 5 is 1 kilometer cubed of material up into the atmosphere, and Index 8 is 1,000 kilometer cubed of ejected material up in the atmosphere. That's a lot. Of course, Yellowstone is always the go-to supervolcano example. Everyone always talks about Yellowstone. There's so many videos on YouTube. History Channel has probably at least 20 documentaries focused on Yellowstone. But if Yellowstone, the Index 8 supervolcano, if it erupted today, it would destroy everything in the surrounding states and blanket much of the U.S. in ash. It's theorized that Kansas City would receive about an inch of ash, while Miami, way far away from the epicenter, could still receive about a millimeter of ash. But Miami's really far away, so that's a lot of debris. But there's another issue that we got to talk about. All that debris and ash goes way up into the atmosphere and blocks out the sun, causing the Earth to cool significantly for several years. This is known as a volcanic winter, and obviously it's pretty problematic. You can't grow crops if there's no sun, and you can't eat if there's no food, and then supply chains get jacked, and there's civil unrest, and people die.
Oh my gosh.
For example, the year 1816 is known as the year without a summer. That's because the Index 7 Tambora eruption in 1815 lofted so much debris up into the atmosphere that it caused a little bit of blocked sunlight, and the temperatures were cooler the next year. So how likely is a supervolcanic eruption? Well, focusing again on Yellowstone, that supervolcano erupted 664,000 years ago. And the time it erupted before that was 636,000 years ago. So using my calculations, Yellowstone will be due to erupt around 26,000 BC. Shoo. Wait. Oh my gosh, we're overdue. Well, maybe not. Current researchers say all is good and we shouldn't be worried. They're always monitoring stuff. They got like probes in the ground. They're checking out the seismic activity, and they say there's nothing to worry about, at least for the next 100 years. So that's good. But there are other supervolcanoes on this planet, and it's predicted that one of these erupts about once every 50,000 years. The last one being 27,000 years ago in New Zealand. So in the next decade, I'm gonna give it like a 1 in 1,000th chance. We should be fine. Okay, but now we gotta talk about some things that are actually a little bit more likely, a little more scary. And the next one that we're talking about is nuclear war. So nuclear weapons are the classic go-to weapons of mass.
Not gonna hold you. Chat. Nuclear war, it sounds like a bad thing. It really is a bad thing. But at the same time, dude, it's too many of us, and only the strong will need to survive. You feel me? I'm tired. You feel me? Cause I be watching shows after the wars and shit. When time restart and shit. I mean, I won't say restart, but restart for real. Like you gotta like rebuild and shit. Swords and shit. Prime years of life. I'm just saying. If it happen, I'm gonna be prepared. I'm not prepared yet. But I feel like I hope we got a couple years so I can find me a little bunker, Find me a little safe place, a little bomb shelter, you feel me? But if it don't happen, Jack, we gonna die. Hopefully we don't, hopefully I find my bunker, I get to start a new little, and I get to be the leader. I could be the first president. First post-apocalyptic president, for real. I'm just saying, the first one ever, gonna be me if it happen. Hopefully. Not hopefully it happened, but if it happened, hopefully I'm the first leader. Type shit. Just on that note, you feel me? Because I feel like I'm a main character. Just makes sense.
Mass destruction. A single nuclear bomb could destroy an entire city, especially a thermonuclear bomb in the megaton range. A nuclear war could happen in a variety of ways. There's ICBMs, which are missiles that go up into space and can reach the other side of the Earth in like 30 minutes. Then you have your traditional planes that can carry atomic bombs to targets. It's a little old-fashioned, but they still have those. And then you have subs, where we don't even know where they are. I mean, there could be a couple off the coast and you wouldn't even know it. US has over 1,000 nuclear weapons, Russia has over 1,000 nuclear weapons, and China has got a few hundred. So we have plenty, more than enough to blow up the entire world. And you might be like, well, that's not gonna happen. You doomsday people, you doom and gloom. Why would that happen? Come on, don't be so...
Why the fuck do we have that many? Think about it, dude. Look. Boom. Russia, they got spies and shit. Say they send a spy over here. Send him, he like 10, 11, you feel me? His parents is like super spies and shit. They come over here. He 10, 11. He go to school, feel me? He graduate high school in America, go to college in America, get him a little job, get a government job, work his way up. Nobody know because we think he on our team whole time he a spy, but he's super duper undercover because he started as a jit, you feel me? And he found his way, government. Now he know where the bomb's at. He like, yo, I got the T. And then they drop a nuclear bomb on top of where we holding our nuclear bombs, and their bomb explode our bomb, and now all the bombs blew up, and now we gone. You feel me? This shit getting real. Just say
scared of that. That's just propaganda. That's just whatever. No, if you believe that, then you definitely don't know your history, because war never changes.
War never changes.
Seriously though, throughout history there have been major wars like every other decade. They happened all the time. And then they quit happening after World War II. And you might be like, why did that happen? Well, it's because of nuclear weapons. They, in a weird way, create a peace. That's why we used to have ICBMs called peacekeepers. World leaders aren't starting wars because they know, the consequences of starting a war could mean the end of their entire country. So thankfully, they don't do anything. But over time, something's going to give and another major war will happen. All it takes is one kind of crazy lunatic dude in charge of a country, which has happened many times in the past. All of a sudden, he's launching nukes and it's over. It's over. In fact, it's almost happened 3 times in the past 70 years. There was the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Yom Kippur War in 1973, and of course,
Stanislav Petrov Incident.
in 1983. This guy was told by his higher-ups to launch nuclear weapons, and you know what? He went against his commanding officers and said, time out. I'm not going to do it. And thankfully he didn't, because if he did, then the world would look a lot different.
Exactly.
There
He
are
said
some,
that we
things
seen it.
heating up in the world right now.
They
Foreign
sent
affairs
another. We
aren't
sent another. Oh
exactly
my gosh.
perfect. But overall,
Then we gonna
things
have
are
to figure
still
out when
pretty
they send
tame.
it. They
I'm gonna give it
try to
about a
send
1
ours. We
out
gonna
of
have to
8
try to meet in the
chance
sky.
in the
You
next
feel me?
10 years. But like long term, like the next
Crazy.
100 years, I'm gonna say like 50% chance. It's pretty grim. Moving on to number 1, which is societal collapse caused by a host of issues, whether it's famine, whether it's this, whether it's supply chain issues, whether it's some sort of massive hack or whatever. That is probably the most likely cause of like a huge mass casualty event. If you look at like the deadliest things out of the past 1,000 years, what are the 2 things that pop up? Famine and yeah. So that's probably the most likely. Now, I do think that one of these could be a factor. A nuclear war could cause societal collapse, famine. A volcanic eruption could cause crop failure. You get a solar flare, a Miyake event. Oh, supply chain is disrupted. Oh, there's no food, famine. So that is always kind of the most likely mass casualty event with human civilization. Hopefully we don't have to worry about that. This is kind of a dark video now that I think about it. But anyway, if you want to plan, my advice, if you're worried,
Find a bunker.
is to just start a little homestead or something, you know? You ever watch that show, Little House on the Prairie? I've been watching it. I don't know why. I've been really into it lately, though. Join the Amish, kind of figure out your own little society, have a little seed bank in your basement, maybe get some of those sun lamps just in case and a couple generators. Become a doomsday prepper. That might be a good option for you. But would you really want to survive any of these?
Yes.
Maybe it's just best to not survive.
Yes. Yo, chat.
Well, thank you
chat.
so much for watching.
That's literally what I've been saying. I want to live, you feel me? After the life. I mean, not after the life, but like I want to live like after some bullshit happen. Like a zombie apocalypse, that'd be cool, you feel me? That I don't know. I watched The Walking Dead. It look a little like everybody mad at each other, but they mad at each other. They not even worried about the zombies no more. Zombies not even like once you get to like season 4 or 5. They not even worried about the zombies no more. It's more about trying to restart civilization. You feel me? But guess what? If I'm restarting it, I'm going to be the leader for real, and I'm going to run it the right way. I'm going to run it the right way. I'm just telling y'all. I might just run for president for real 2035. Start some shit like that. They gonna be mad at me, but then after it happen, I'm gonna like come to my senses. I'm like, oh my gosh, we got blah 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 blah, and then they gonna fuck with it. I'm just saying. Tag, they can't. I'm just gonna be the video.
Watching this lighthearted,
The video
really
basically
uplifting
over.
video. I'll see you next time.
But back to what I was saying. Just saying, bro. I didn't watch too many shots. I didn't watch the 100. You feel me? That's like 100 years after. You feel me? I didn't watch The Walking Dead. You feel me? My favorite movie for real. Like movie series, Maze Runner and shit. You know, all the 3 of those. You know, that's like poser. World War Z. You feel me? All that type of shit. I'm just saying. I feel like I can make it out. I don't think it'd be that hard. I think it'd probably be a little hard at the beginning. But once you figure this shit out, you feel me? It's not gonna be that hard. Cause also, what? The Last of Us, that show, and the game. I'm saying, I don't think it'd be that hard. Like 10, 15 years after it happens, after you done went through like the first 5, 6 years figuring everything out. Once you figure this shit out, bruh, learn how to like, you know, make the crops and, you know, I don't know about animals and shit, because every time I see a show like that, most of the animals be gone. But I feel like if you got a little farm, like 10, 20 cows, you know, just keep, you know, rebreeding the cows, you feel me? You eventually gonna end up with a lot of cows, hopefully. Damn, they gonna be like incest cows, though. Damn. And last we had one cow that had like, we gotta keep one cow. Hold on, 10. We got 10. We got 10 boy cows, 10 girl cows. You know, each of those gonna have 5 cows of their own. You feel me? So now it's, hold up. Nah, cause then that just be 10 and 10. That just be 50. But then it'd be 50, and then they gotta stay super separated. Cause you gotta, you know, we gotta. It's a lot, but by the time it happens, we gonna have it figured out. By the time I'm gonna have it figured out so I can be the leader. You feel me? But like, yeah. Hopefully, hopefully, if it happen, y'all put me in charge, cause I'm locked in and I know what they have going on. Feel me? Yeah. But that's a wrap for this video. See y'all in the next one. Y'all out for real, for real. Peace. I missed the button. Peace.